Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for joining me for weekly recap time. I try to do one of these every week. I do one for every week, but I don't get one put out every week. Some weeks I'll do two. I'm behind right now by about 2 weeks. Forgive me. It's just, trucking's more important than YouTube. I haven't made it to that level yet to where I make more money off my YouTube channel than I do my trucking. So bear with me. Well, maybe one day I'll be one of those guys. But for right now, trucking's the main gig, and then we got a bunch of little side hustles, So, weekly recap. Let me give you the rundown. I'm leased to an 80-20 split carrier. I don't talk about my carrier. If you want a similar runs like this, find yourself a good refrigerated carrier that's got some action and can help you out, maybe take care of you on a few things. That's what I would recommend. And let's see what else. At the end, I'll talk about the money I got left to do what I have to do with. I only go over variable cost here. I like to break down these loads for you. So let's get to it. 3 loads this week, 3 bangers. 3 bangers. They're not all bangers, trust me. It's just, the freight market's really good right now. I had a video like 2 years ago where I was talking about, I'm the price line negotiator. Because honestly, let's face it, if you're getting good loads, it's because of 3 things. You're in the right place at the right time with the right equipment. That's all there is to it. I mean, if the broker's got to have the load moved, you might get them to come up and pay you a great rate. But let's face it, there's other people out there that can haul the freight. So it's more or less, if you get a banger, it's like I said, right place, right time, right equipment. That's the key to bangers. That's the key to bangers. And knowing some people don't hurt either, but, that comes and goes. So, anyway, let's get to it. First load, Minnesota down to Texas. Now, here's my gig. I like to run out of Minnesota, down east, southeast. That's kind of my areas. 1,000 to 1,500 mile runs. And then I like to turn around and I like to come straight back. I don't always come straight back because the money ain't always right to come straight back. Sometimes I do like a split run on the way back. Maybe a stop in Chicago, unload, reload, and then come on to Minnesota. Just depends on where the money's at and what's doing me right at the time. And that's kind of what this week is. I've been doing this here for the last couple months, kind of doing that split in Chicago just because the money's better right now on a split in Chicago. Just working better for me. I guess you could call it a triangle. I don't know. I just call it what I do. But the first load I did was 1 pick, 3 drops in Texas, 26,000 pounds, negative 10 degrees. 1253 all-in miles on that, $6,000 on that one. Woo, that was good. I was licking my fingers on that one when they called me with that one. I was planning on staying at the house for a minute. Yeah, you gotta take that. You gotta take that $6,000 banger, right? 1,253 all miles. $6 grand. What is that? That's like do some quick math on that. It's like $5 a mile. Gotta take that. It's just how I am. They call me with stuff like that when I'm at the house. They know I'm going to take it. Yeah, they know I'm going to take it, But then anyway, coming back up out of Texas, not so much bangers out of Texas. I mean, here's how freight works in my opinion. The good paying freight typically goes to where the freight isn't paying very good or there's not a lot of loads because they're paying you to go in there. They're paying you to take that hit. And, I gladly take it when it's $6 grand on 1,253 all-in miles. Coming out of Texas, here's what we're talking about. I did a load back up to 1 pick out of Texas, 2 drops in the Chicago suburbs area, 43,000 pound dry load. Paid me $2,700 on $13.35 a mile. I know I'm that guy hauling freight for like $2 a mile. My God, what is he thinking? What is he doing? I'm taking that load to get back to a good area known as Chicago. It's the way freight works. It's just how it works. Like, I see a lot of inexperienced guys out here right now, you know, talk about, you know, this, that, and the other. And it's like, right now, yes, because, you know, unprecedented times and whatnot. But for the majority of the time, this is the way freight works, you know. And I'm not knocking the guys that are getting it right now. Hell, get it if you can. I ain't mad at you. For sure, you know, I seen a YouTuber the other day talking about people only posting their numbers right now because they're good. And I do see that a lot. I see a lot of people posting numbers right now, but, you know, I can't say that about myself. I show all the numbers, good, bad, I don't care. Go back. I think I got 2 years right now posted. 2 years of weekly recaps. So if you want to see the ups and downs of the freight market, by all means, go back through some of those videos. But anyway, tangent, we're back. Then I came up to Chicago. I took a load out of Chicago. That was a 4-stopper, 2 in Wisconsin, 2 in Minnesota. That load was 34,000 pounds at 33 degrees. $3,700 on 574 miles. Cha-ching. You know, I was at the right place at the right time with the right equipment. That's how I do that. I'm like good at being in the right place at the right time, I guess. I don't know. But there it is. Texas, Minnesota down to Texas. Texas back to Illinois. Illinois, Minnesota. Home. Check. You know, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So let's go over the numbers. Big numbers week right here. I love these numbers. Let me talk to you about some numbers. $12,400. $12,400 total gross revenue. Beautiful thing. My 80% of that is $9,920. 3,162 all miles. 3,162 all miles. That is 251 miles of deadhead in there. I didn't do the percentage, but I don't know, what is that? That's probably like it's probably like 7 or 8% deadhead. You know, maybe not even that much. I don't know. But 2,911 loaded miles on that. Let's break it down. That's 392 for all the miles. All the miles. That is 314 for my 80% all miles. That is an amazing rate. You know, if you would have told me last year, maybe a year and a half ago, that you know, we'd be banging out 314 a mile, my cut, we'd been slapping fives. I'd have been very happy with that news. That's $4.26. $4.26 per loaded mile. That is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Especially considering one of those is a dry load. And you know, we all know, typically, realistically, a dry load pays about 90% of what a reefer load pays, historically. So yeah, all right, let's go over some expenses. I'm gonna throw some numbers up for you right here if you're new to the game, the weekly recap game. I'll throw some numbers up here for you. And I just want to say before I get to that, I do not brag here. I'm not trying to brag about these numbers. That's why I show the bad weeks and the good weeks. If you go back to, I think it was, I don't know if it was this April or last April, I had a week with 0 revenue. I did a weekly recap on that week. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I don't care. You know, I ran a load for 80 cents a mile back when things were tough. I don't care. Take your opinions. I don't know. Take them to your therapist for all I care. Because I don't care. I run my business the best way I know how. And, yeah, that's it. That's just it. So if you want to say I'm the guy hauling the cheap freight, by all means, hell, make a YouTube post about it for all I care. Put it on Facebook, because I never go on Facebook. But let's go over some variable costs. I'm going to throw some numbers up for you right here. $1,202 in diesel. Every single drop of that diesel was bought with the Mudflap app this week. I was on that Mudflap hot and heavy. Hot and heavy. I did buy some reefer fuel at the Quick Trip, the one with the QT. Did buy some reefer fuel over there with cash. You know, wasn't a Mudflap really convenient to me, and I needed some reefer fuel, so I did that. But if you don't have Mudflap, check out the description below. Real quick before I go over this, I got the Mudflap app down there. Sign up with my link and whatnot. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. The merch tent's fully stocked. I don't know what you guys are waiting on. That cash merch is going to be like the money that's going to be worth one day in, like, you know, resale value. It's going to be like those first generation Jordans, I do believe. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Buy them, put them up. When your kids get older, say, son, you didn't think you had money to go to college, but luckily Dad bought a Cassius King hoodie, original Cassius King hoodie back in 2021, and now you're going to college, son. But anyway, another tangent. We're back. $1,202 in diesel cost, $169 in reefer cost, $30 in def, $82 in tolls, $30 in parking. I paid for parking 2 nights, $13 in scales. We went through almost everything you could possibly buy that week, and totals $1,526 in variable cost. So we bring over my 80%, which is $9,920. We subtract said $1,526 in variable expenses, and that leaves me $8,394 to do what I have to do with. And there you go, guys. That's my week. Banger of a week. I love weeks like this. Wish I could do more weeks like this, but you know, unfortunately, it don't always work out that great. I did like the tight spacing on these loads, and for a 3-pick 9-drop week, everything went damn seamless. Like, it was scheduled right. I think we had a few we had to drop off, maybe when I was down in Texas. I had a couple that I had to drop at cold storage because we couldn't get an appointment time. Other than that, smooth sailing. Love this type of week. It's a hard week. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of logistics. That load back to Minnesota was crazy on the logbook. I mean, I was like tiptoeing. I remember there was one day I took an exact 7-hour break and had to like put her back in the wind, you know, to get to a delivery on time. But you know, it can be done. I just had to think it through and work at it a little bit. But what an amazing week. It left me back in Minnesota. I got another banger out of Minnesota. I'm back in Texas. So I think the next week we went back to Texas. I've been just doing like Minnesota to Texas here lately. It's been a decent lane for me for about the past month. And you know me, I'll run them till they ain't, I run them in the ground, I'll run it till the rates change on me, and then I'll go somewhere else. It's a beautiful thing of having connections. That's why I say, if you lease onto a carrier, make sure they got some like connections, at least some good email freight, maybe some direct freight. Leverage their good name and their customer base to your benefit. But with that being said, also take very good care of those customers when you get one of those loads, because that's your bread and butter when the spot market ain't $4 a mile. Just saying. All these bangers out of Minnesota, this is all, connection loads. I'm not pulling these off the load board, and that's how I like to operate. Now, but coming back, yeah, most of it's spot market freight, but most time when I'm pulling out of Minnesota or Chicago, I've got customer freight there, and it's just something you build over time. I'm not saying I got the magic recipe, but I definitely am refining this as years go by and learning from my good experiences and my bad experiences and trying to share it with you guys. And I do appreciate everybody coming by. If you've made it this far, smash that like button for me. Give me that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, think about subscribing. If you know someone that's thinking about becoming an owner-operator and you think they might benefit from a video like this, be sure to share it with them. And until later, take care of each other. Bye.